Hello, good evening. Welcome to Mathematics Lesson 1 for 2026 GCE. So this is 2026 GCE Mathematics Lesson 1 on algebra, on basic processes of algebra. So lesson 1 on basic processes of algebra. To help you understand, I have actually formulated questions that will help you to understand basic processes of algebra. So algebra in mathematics is a language of mathematics. Once you understand algebra, then you have understood the language of mathematics. So ensure to pay attention. And for those of you who would want to do mathematics online tuitions for me, you are free to contact me on my line, which is 0977 92 41 75. So this is the WhatsApp number, and mathematics online tuitions are 100 kwacha per month. Okay, so if you want to start, you can start now. This is the right time to start. All right, having said this, let's go straight into this wonderful mathematics lesson. So basically, algebra practice questions, like common questions that you'd find. So on simplification and division, like example, simplify the expression involving division here. So if they are saying simplify, to simplify it is to make simple. Okay, so to simplify is to make something simple. Okay, something was complicated, you make it simple. So like this equation or expression is complicated, you make it simple. So how do you make it simple? By ensuring that you subtract, you multiply, you divide, and you add. So in this case, what we are going to do is this. So say equals, or say equals. So we have actually here supposed to be multiplication here. So let me rewrite it. It is 6x to the power 3, then y to the power 2, then times, then you have 2x, then y, then over everything over 2x y. Okay, so this is so this expression here has it has two things on it. Let me just clear this one so that I show you what it has, okay, which qualifies it to be a division and multiplication. So it has this part which is a multiplication. Multiplication means times. Okay, multiplication. Then we have this line. This line is also the same as divided by. So this one is a division. Okay, so it has two. It has multiplication and the division. Okay, so now having explained that, so let's try to answer this one here. So in answering, you have to understand that the multiplication and the division are commutative, meaning that when following board mass, you can start with anything. So what does this mean here? The top part here, when we say x to the power 6, x to power 3, y to power 2, it means that you have 6 times x times x times x. So x to power 3, it means the x's are multiplying by each other 3 times. Then y also, between x and y there's times, so you say again times y times y. Then this original times, the original times, I'll put it in red for instance. I'll say times, then I'll go back to black, then I'll say 2, there's 2, between 2 and x there's times x times this y here. Then I'll draw the line over, then I have 2 down there we have 2, so we have 2, oh sorry, 2 times x times y. So now everything on top is times and everything down is times. So at this point now you need to cancel what is common on top and down. So we have x on top, down we have x. We have y, and down we have y. So what are we remaining with on top there? We have 2, and there we have 2, you see. So now we will say we have 6. What are we remaining with? On top we have 6 times x times x times y times x times y. Then down we have nothing, right? It means we have 1 because everything has cancelled, so we have 1. So say equals, then you have 6, then x, how many are they? 1, 2, 3. You say x to power 3. Then y's, how many are they? 1, 2. Then say y to power 2. Then over 1. So 1 into this, it will be the same, 6x to power 3, y to power 2. So this one is the answer. So according to mathematics, this answer is simpler than this. So that's what we mean by simplification. We have simplified it. Then we move on to question 2 on substitution. So to substitute, it is to remove something and put something there, like players in a football match, they are substituted. One player is removed, another one is put there, is replaced. So I will look at an example of how question on substitution can come. Given that a is equal to 3, b is equal to -5, and c is equal to 4, find the value of ab squared. So what does this mean? It means that you substitute where there is a, you put 3 in here. So it means here you have a b to power 2. So you say equals, a now should have 3. a is 3. So where there is a here, you put 3. Then between a and b in the middle there's times. Then b is what? b is -5. So say -5. Then since there's a power there, it means you put brackets, there's a power 2 there. Then you say, okay, this means 3. Then this one, which is to power 2, it means that times you have this multiplied by itself, like -5 times again -5. That's what it means to be to power 2. So then you say equals, then you say negative here times negative positive. So you say 5 times 5, 25. So you say 3 times 25. 5 times 5, 25. Negative times negative positive. So again you say 3 times 25, you get 75. as your answer. So when you are substituting, you are likely going to find an answer in terms of a number. Yeah, so that is it. Then we come to B. The same, we answer B. So we'll say, okay, we are told that this is A minus B minus C to power 2. Now here we were told, if you check above here, we are told that A3, B negative 5, then C4. So you come back and substitute. You say equals A3, then you put minus, then where there's B, you say open bracket, where there's B, there's negative 5. A negative, put in brackets, then minus, then where there's C, there's 4. So here you just put 4, then to power 2, that 2 there. Then this one, you say 3, then you see there's a negative in front of the bracket. So say this negative outside and the negative inside the bracket, you multiply them. Negative, negative, it will be positive. Then the brackets, remove it, you remain with 5. Then here you say negative. Then this 4, you say 4 to power 2. So if you have like 4 to power 2, it means 4 times, see? 4, so you say 4 times 4, you get 16 here. So then you add, you say 3 plus 5, you get 8 minus 16. Okay, sorry, let me write the 16 properly. 16 there. So now you see, we are saying now 8 minus 16. Okay, so you see, it is not normal to say 8 minus 16, right? Yeah, in real life, if I tell you to say 4 oranges minus 8 oranges, what are you going to remain with? Of course, you remain with nothing. You even have a short 4. So it means that when you are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number, it means that the final answer will be negative. Then you reverse the process where you say 16 minus 8, which is 8. That will be your final answer here. Then we move on to the next one, expansion. To expand, it is to especially look at the expression like this. It is to expand to make it longer if it was short. So expansion, they're saying expand the expression, this one here. So how do you do it? Let's copy the question. Open brackets, x plus 3, close, open, then 2x minus 5. So when you have two expressions in brackets and on the middle there's nothing there, it means there's multiplication here on the middle, but it is never showed. Brackets on themselves, they're saying you're multiplying. So how do you do it? You do it like this. It means this x, for instance, x is multiplying with this term inside this bracket. The same x is also multiplying with 5. Then the same 3 is multiplying with this again. The same 3 with that. So that's what it means. Now, what do we do now that we know what it means? You just pick like x, okay? Then you say open brackets. We picked x here, open brackets, you put closer to it, this one here. You have just picked 1, and then you pick this one here. You say 2x minus 5, close. Then you come and pick this plus 3. You say plus 3. Then open brackets, you pick again this part again. You pick it twice. You say 2x minus 5. That's the beginning of the expansion. You see the beginning of the expansion. Then from there now you begin multiplying. This x should multiply everything here. So x times 2x, you get 2x squared, because there's x here and x there, so it gives you x squared. Then the 2 comes, then you put your minus there, then you say x times 5, it will be 5x. You see, then this is done. Then you shift here, you come on this side, negative positive 3, like this 3 has a positive in front, so it is positive 3. So it's a 3 times 2x. So it is as good as saying 3 times 2, you get your 6. So here first you write, since 3 times 2, you get positive 6. Then, all right, let me write the positive 6 properly. Positive, oh, the pen is not good, guys. So positive 6, then that x you bring it there. Then here you multiply again, positive 3 and negative 15. So since this one has positive, that one has negative, you have negative here. Then you say 3 times 5, I mean, it will be 15, like that. Then from there, you do what we call simplification, like you add or subtract like terms. Okay, so you have two. You have this one is a term, this one we call it a term, this one is a term, this one is a term. Very important for you to know. However, terms have got variables, like this letter here. X squared is a variable, x is a variable, x is a variable. Letters are called variables. I hope that one is making sense. So letters are called variables. So if you have letter like to a power, it is not a like term. So this one is just 2x, but these two are like terms, so you can add them, like negative 5 plus 6x. You see, both have got the x there, so they are like terms. So you add them, there's plus there. But if you don't understand this, I always advise you swap. You start with 6x, then you say minus 5x. So you say, this one is straightforward. It's like you're saying, you have x, you write it once, then you say 6 minus 5, 1. But this one, don't write the 1, just write x. So this x is positive, so you say plus x. Then this side, what do you have? You have negative 5, negative 15 there. It's not a like term, so say negative 15. You end there. You have actually expanded and simplified at the same time, I'm sure. So expand the expression. Yeah, that's how it is going to be. You can leave it like that, it's fine, or you leave it here. Then we move on to the next question. Factorize, which is to find common factors. So when you are told to factorize, it means you find a common factor between the two terms. Like we have this one, 4x squared minus 12x. So you see, this is a term and this one is also a term. So these terms here need to be factorized. What is to factorize? It is to set apart common factors. So to factorize, guys, to factorize is set aside. You set aside what we call common factors. Okay, you set them aside. So like in the case of these two terms here, we have seen something which is common between these two terms. We have seen the x is common here, right? So the x is common and also it's there. So we have identified x. But other than that, we must also take note that 4 can go into 12. So 4 itself can go in itself as well as in 12. So 4 again is a common factor. So there are two common factors. So we set them aside. We say 4 and x are common factors. So you now open brackets. Okay? Let me put properly. Open bracket. So where 4 has come out here on this term, and then 4 is out, and 1x is out, we are remaining with just an x there. Okay? Then you say minus. Here 4 in 12 has come out. What are we remaining with? 3. Okay? Something that we can multiply with 4 to get 12 is 3. Then this x is already set apart, so nothing remaining in terms of that. So it will be like that. So yeah, this one is our final answer, just like that. Then we come to the next one, factorize by grouping. So in factorization, there's also factorization by grouping. So here is how you do it. You can of course recopy your question, 3x, no, 3ax minus 6ab plus 4x minus 8b. So factorizing by grouping, it means you put those terms in groups, especially if they're similar, put them in groups. So like here, they are already in groups. So you can put this one as a group and also this one as a group and factorize them like that. So between this term and this term, check for something common and factor it out. So what is common between these is 3. 3 can go in itself, and also we have a and a there, so a. So then you open brackets. So once 3 is out and a is out, we are remaining with x, so say x there, put minus. Then 3 is out from 6 there, so what we are remaining with is 2 there, because 3 times 2 should give us 6. Then a is already out, what we are remaining with is b. Then you close, then you come here, you put this plus here, plus. Then you enter inside these brackets. What is common? 4 is common because it can go in itself as well as in 8. So 4 is common. You set it aside, you open. Once 4 has been taken out, you remain with x there. Then you say minus. Here in 8, once 4 is taken out, you remain with 2 because 2 times 4, it will give you 8. So here 2 and a b here. So you do like this. So you have factored out. Now, this one, after you factor, you have 2 big terms. One big term from here and another one here. Now, on these 2 big terms that you have, you can notice that there's something common here. You have seen there's this part and this part, they are common. So you factor them out as well. That is how it should be. So those, you factor them out, those which are common. So how do you do it? You say, on this side I have x and minus 2 also on that side. So you factor them out, x minus 2b. then you put these in brackets. So what are you remaining with on this part? You are remaining with 3a. So you also open another bracket. You say, oh, this bracket is not bracketing. So you say 3, this bracket is not bracketing. Say 3a, then you shift this side. What are you remaining with? 4. Oh, sorry. So 4 plus 4. You say plus 4. So you just leave it like that. It's done. You are done in factorizing. Then we come to another one, factorization of quadratic expression. So you have expression like this, where one term is squared, another term is not. So factorization. So this one, you do factorization of quadratic functions or expression, I mean. So here is a thing how you do it. So if you say we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. So this one, to factor it out, you look at two terms, which when you multiply them, you get 6. When you add them, you get 5. So you look at two terms, or numbers, two factors, of course, not terms, two factors which are numbers. When you add them, they'll give you 6. Okay, when you multiply them, they'll give you 6. When you add them, they'll give you 5. What are these numbers? It is just 2 and 3. If I say 2 times 3, I'm getting a 6. If I say 2 plus 3, I'm getting a 5. So these numbers, we just look for them ourselves. So once you find them, you substitute here. You say now x to power 2, of course let me be doing like this, then plus, where there's 5, you replace it with this. You say 2x plus 3x. You have seen. If we say 2x plus 3x, are we not getting 5? We are getting. So you replace it with this, then you say plus 6. Then you say, okay, so you now factorize by grouping. So you factor this one by grouping, like what we have done previously. So this one and also this one. That's how you are going to do it. So let me just copy, okay, to group them. So say open brackets, I have 2, no, not 2. I just have x squared plus 2x grouped plus, then open brackets, 3x plus 6 close brackets. Then I'll say equals. Now I factor out here what is common, x and x. So that one is common. So what I do, I put it aside here and then open brackets. Once I do that, I remain here with just x plus here, x is out, I remain with 2. Then I'll come to this plus. Then here what is common is actually 3. 3 can go in itself and 6. So here 3 is out, open brackets, here I'll remain with x, plus here where there's 6, I remain with 2. So that 3 times 2, I'll get a 6 there. Then what do? I now check that from this term, this is common and this is common. So we factor out that which is common, which is x plus 2, put it in brackets. Then on this side we remain with open brackets x. On this other side we remain with plus 3. You put like that. That is factorizing. You have done the factorization of a quadratic function. So another one is this one here, which is the last one actually. So we have 3x to the power 2 minus x minus 10. So again, look for two numbers which when you add them, you get -1. So negative x here has a -1 in front. That's what you should do. Take note of. So what now you do, you look for two numbers which when you add them, they'll give you -1. When you multiply them, they'll give you 10. Okay? So what are those? Oh, sorry. Actually, before you do that, first of all, to find the product, this 3 must be multiplied with this 10 here to make it 30. So the product is -30. Then the sum is -1. So you have -1 and 30. So you look for two numbers which when you multiply them, they will give you 30, and when you add them, they will give you -1. So what are these two numbers which when we multiply them, they will give us 30. When we add them, they will give us -1. So let's try 6 and 5. Okay? So 6 times 5, of course, it is 30, right? If we say 6 times 5, we must get a 30 there. Now it is a negative. So if we say 6 plus 5, are we getting a -1? No. So unless we say negative, so 6 will be negative. So that if we say -6 times 5, -30, then we say -6 plus 5, -1. So we have found these. So you can substitute them here where you say 3x squared, you say, you put this one minus 6x plus 5x, then minus 10, meaning that this has been represented by that. So now you recopy them and group them. You say, open brackets, 3x squared minus 6x, close brackets, then plus, here you have, open brackets, 5x minus 10, close brackets, then you say equals. So look at what is common here, 3 and x. So you have 3x, then say open brackets. So once 3 is out, you remain with 1x here. So say x minus, here you remain with a 2 because this x is already out. So you do like that, then you come, you say plus here, then you say here what is common? 5. So 5 comes out. What remains there, open brackets, x. Then once 5 is out of 10, what remains there? 2, because 5 times 2, 10. So again, you see this is common, this is common. So you factor it out further. So you say x minus 2 is gone. You remain with this. So open brackets, 3x, then again this, so plus 5. So this is the final answer. So done on this part which comes in the exam. So ensure that you join the online lessons. Okay, so for now, bye and see you in the next lesson.